maybe a little bit more vulnerable and just took it, you know, that'd be 20 minutes of him beating my fucking ass, you know?
Gentleman Club Diary.
Yo, yo, it is your boy Invincible, and you are watching a new episode of the Gentleman Club Diary. We got another spectacular guest. She's exotic, and she's exotic not because she's an exotic dancer. She's exotic because we're going to find out all the interesting things that she's into, that she likes. You're going to trip out on this. But I want to welcome everybody, Salem, to the show.
Hello.
All right, Salem, so where are you from?
Originally, I claim the IE. So I like grew up as a teenager in the IE, like South Riverside. But I was born and raised in San Diego. So like my
Yeah.
mom's Mexican, so we would always be like crossing the border when my dad's military.
Oh, okay.
So if he was busy, we would just go to Tijuana.
Oh, okay.
So grew up there, but until I was like 10, and then I moved to the IE. So I claim the IE.
Claim IE. She represents the IE.
Yeah.
So shout out to the IE. So
I
you're-
claim the IE. Even
Yeah.
though I've been living in LA, I claim the IE.
Oh, dang. She's repping hard. She's repping hard. So you're Mexican and what else?
I'm Mexican and Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah. A lot of people, they'll be like, "You're something different." I'm like, "It's the Portuguese," but we were raised Mexican.
Yeah. But now I can kind of see that though. Kind of like that.
Yeah. There's like something. People think either Armenian or like Middle Eastern something. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
no, it's Portuguese. Yeah.
All right. So Salem, I was tripping out on your Instagram. So you guys need to check out her Instagram because it's crazy. Like she got blood and I was like, what's going on here? I mean, is that just a, what is that like?
So that specifically was promo for my birthday party.
Uh-huh.
So I did a Blade themed rave.
Uh-huh.
And it was called Bloodbath. So I did the promo for the flyer, I did the photo shoot so we could use it, but I also did a 10-minute long video of me pouring blood over myself in just this random parking lot so that it could play on a loop over the bar.
Oh, dang. That's dope.
So, but what was funny, because when we were shooting it, it was kind of next to like a homeless encampment.
Uh-huh.
And they were hella curious because obviously it's like 10 o'clock at night and like I'm just pouring blood on myself with all these lights on me.
Yeah.
And they would like walk by and then I think one of them saw it and got scared and ran and they started like lighting fireworks to get us out of there. So we just dipped.
Oh, dang.
But that's why I had the blood and then like it kind of became like a signature because it was like the most recent post. So everyone like attributed it to me or like, you know, like
Yeah.
connected it. But that's why I did that. But I also do like BDSM performances, so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I kind of like strayed away from it for a little bit, but I did do like wax play, like whipping, did fire play. So I think like at the very tail end of me doing that, I did the blood stuff. So people kind of just like, oh,
Kinda
it's just something else she does, you know?
Tied it into the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Now, the BDSM stuff, right? I don't see. I interviewed somebody that was fluent in that. Like she was
Right.
a dominatrix, and it seems like it's like a whole different.
It's a different world. Like
Yeah.
it's a complete. I have homegirls that are doms. When I did it, I was just a sub, and I just did performances at shows.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it as part of like sex work or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't like get paid to like be dominated. Like that's not my thing. Like I did it with like my homegirls at like events
Yeah.
for like a crowd, you know. But
Oh,
like
you did it with the homegirl?
yeah, like it was my homegirls. We were in a collective that I used to work with. I'm not with them anymore, so I won't say the name.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we were performing for like a good year in Orange County.
So what do you do in these performances?
I was a sub, so I would get the two girls I did it with. I was the event coordinator, and
Yeah.
the two girls I did it with were doms. So we would like coordinate these Santa Muerte events. So it was all in as an offering, like an honor to her.
Yeah.
And we would do these curated Santa Muerte events with like all the vendors were all devotees. It was for devotees to come and worship. And then during the night, we would do these performances. So I would partner up with one of the doms. She would bring me on stage and she would whip me. She would do wax play with me. I had a hard boundary with knives, so I didn't do it, but other people did knife play. I did fire play a couple times. I got tied up.
Damn.
So yeah, but I don't really like, it's not my like industry or community. I'm really hugely a part of other than the Santa Muerte stuff. So I don't claim being like hugely in BDSM, but I've done it. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Hold on, just a second.
Yeah.
Is the AC's on? It's cool. Okay, I guess it's cool.
Okay.
Okay, it's good because we're about to get hot right now. She's talking about some hot content now. So, do you get turned on by this stuff, or
No, so
no?
I don't.
You
I'm
don't?
sure some people do,
Yeah.
and like that's them. I'm sure that's why people get involved. I'm epileptic, so
Oh
I have
shit.
seizures, so I have a really high pain tolerance.
Mm.
So when I would be getting whipped or like with the wax player, like anything like that, like I can recognize that it's painful, but like I think because of my seizures, like my threshold is pretty high.
Damn.
And so I'm able to like really like get into a headspace where even though it hurts, like I'm good.
Yeah.
Like if you look through the photos and everything of when I used to do it, like I don't look like I'm in pain. Like I look very zen, like very chill.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it would just be because like once it would start, like I would be like, okay, like we're going. I know what to expect, and I could just like breathe, and like I don't feel anything.
What about like sexually? So, if you're dating somebody, right? Do you get like, are you into some wild stuff? I'm just wondering because you're
I
into
think
that.
if I'm comfortable with someone, yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, when I'm dating someone, I don't even like cross that line until I like fully trust them.
Oh.
Cause like, I don't know, I don't, even when I'm dating someone, until I like really get to know them, I'm like, I'm not gonna let you choke me, cause like, I don't know, you know, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Okay.
there's a lot of layers to it, like there's a lot of like trust that goes into it, there's a lot of like release of control. And so when I'm dating someone, unless I like fully trust them, I don't even cross that line. So it's like,
So you gotta
yeah,
be,
I just don't. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
you gotta be into somebody 100%, and then I could choke the hell out of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
maybe,
Okay.
maybe.
Maybe
We'll
if
see.
I'm
It
lucky.
might take a few years, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Damn, a few years. Well, okay. Damn, that's a long time. Bro.
I don't know, maybe I have trust issues, but
Yeah.
it's like shit.
Is
I like being in control, so like to release control to someone, I think that's like the ultimate like blessing. So I'm just like,
Yeah. So
I hold that back.
yeah, you hold back. Do you think because you work at a strip club, do you feel like maybe you see how us dudes? I don't want to categorize us all the same, but
Right.
do you kind of feel like you see another side to us dudes in the club?
I think that because I've been dancing for so long and like I've seen like so many different types of people come in and act certain ways, like yeah, like it's not that I categorize everyone, I generalize everyone. Like if I'm dating a man, it's like, oh, you're just like them, you know? It's not like that. But I've definitely obviously had experiences that have led me to know that you really have to wait to like fully trust somebody. Like I think that even if like you're super into someone and everything, I think that there's a timeline that you should really like wait because like to get to know someone and see all the different like aspects of themselves, like it takes time to see them in different experiences, see their reactions to things. Until you get like all of that in your face, like you really don't know who somebody is. So for
Yeah.
me, like I really do put a timeline. Like I tell people, I'm just like until it's like been like X amount of months or something, I really don't know you. Like that's just a reality.
That is true. Sure, you can go on a date with somebody and you could dig them physically, and then you're dating that person and you're like, hold up, I don't even like the way you walk right now. I don't even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's like I always give like a probationary period.
Oh, you
Like
do?
I
Yeah.
really do. Like I wait. Like I may not say it out loud, but it's
Yeah.
like 1 to 3 months of like being around someone. I'm like, because I want to see how you treat people. Like I want to see how
Yeah.
you act. Like all that stuff. Like once I see all that, once that timeline's gone on, if I don't hate you by the end of it, like maybe we
Damn.
have a chance. You know?
Okay. So once you spend a week or two with that person, if they don't get on your nerves, then that person has a potential to choke her. Yes, that's true. He'll be choking her.
And to sum it all up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, got it, got it. All right, cool. Now, I want to talk about Salem because we're just talking about it off camera. Salem is known for many different things. Uh, how did you get the name again, Salem?
So I actually like just growing up in like horror movies and like spirituality, like witch stuff and everything,
Yeah.
like growing up in the 90s. I don't know, I heard it around and I really thought it was pretty. And then I started dancing and The first day I started dancing, I didn't know that you had to pick your own name. Like I didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
my homegirl got me into it, and like she brought me in. I was so focused on like the nudity and like the dancing
Yeah.
part that I didn't even think about the name aspect. So it was funny because I had always told myself growing up, I was like, oh, if I have a daughter, I'll name her Salem. And then I'm sitting in the office and they're like, you have to pick a name. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I don't know. And I was
Yeah.
like sitting there and I was like trying to think and think and think. And then I just kept saying, like, thinking Salem. And I was like, I think that's a beautiful name. So I was like, fuck it, Salem it is. I was like, if I have a kid, I'll pick another name.
Another name, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
that's mine.
So you're into horror movies.
I am. I'm into like all that
All the,
aspect of shit. I think it kind of like
if,
shows a little bit, but yeah.
yeah, it does show. So what's your top three horror movies?
Top 3 horror
Top
movies.
three.
Blair Witch, just because like I don't know why growing up like I used to love watching that shit by myself. Like,
Yeah.
I like saw it once and like I just was obsessed with it. Like I'd always watch it alone. I got super like that got me into like mockumentaries and like the found footage type genre. So I really like that one. Because of like the theme and what it's about, as above, so below. Because that's the one about the catacombs and
Yeah.
like they find their way into hell. And I think if I remember correctly, it's been a minute, but it's based off of like the 9 levels from like Dante's Inferno,
Oh,
I
Dante's
think.
Inferno. You know, hold up. You know what's crazy? You're talking about Dante's Inferno. For the people that don't know, they say that's kind of where the how. The
Yeah.
guy, yeah, he wasn't Dante. Wasn't he what was he? He was a philosopher or no?
I
No.
think, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
It's like it's a like a poem or something. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
technically
yeah.
a poem.
Yeah.
And it touches on all the different levels and where you end up. And it's
Uh-huh.
like this guy is going through it. And he's
Yeah.
trying, yeah, like it's a crazy thing. But so as above, so below touches on it. And it's like the people get lost in the catacombs. They find their way into hell. They're going through all the levels. And it's fucking crazy. It's another found footage. Like
Wow.
that one's dope as fuck.
So that's number 2.
That's number 2. Number 3 has to be Begotten. Like if you know
Begotten,
me,
okay.
anyone that follows me on Instagram knows I fucking love Begotten.
Begotten.
That's another experimental psychological horror. It's also like it's silent and it's all black and white. They purposely made it black and white because it's super gory.
Gory.
So it touches on the themes of like God, Jesus, and Mary. So it's a horror movie. It's fucked up. Like if you watch it, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird,
yeah.
but it's based on like religion. Like that's what it is. So the opening scene is like Mary, and she's like it's this person in like a chair, and they're like gutting themselves, and it's like black and white, and so it looks pretty crazy. But like they're gutting themselves, and then like a body comes out, and it's like this like body like this person. And like that's supposed to be Jesus being born.
Oh dang! So
So
they
that's
gutted out
like
Jesus coming out.
yeah, it's crazy. If you haven't seen it, it's
disrespectful.
on YouTube for
That's
free.
disrespectful to the Christians. Damn.
But I love
And I'm
that fuck-
Christian too, man.
I love that
I'm just playing.
movie. I don't recommend it, but if you like horror movies and you've never seen it, it's on YouTube for free.
So
I love that movie.
so
But yeah, those are my 3.
Yeah. So what do like religious people think about you?
Oh, they love me.
They love you?
Why wouldn't they? Like
I don't know. I mean, cause you.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, because what you're into, you're like kind of.
honestly, a lot of people when I meet them like at the club or anything, no one really gets offended by me. I've never really. It's funny because like I make my clothing line like the God's favorite stripper,
Oh yeah.
and like I don't know. I have friends that like they'll post stuff and they get like religious people like popping off on them and telling them like it's bad. I've never had anyone pop off on me about anything. Like honestly, like I post my shit online. Like when I made my shirts, I was like, oh, someone's gonna get mad at me. No one's ever got mad at me. Religious people are like, that's dope as fuck. I'm like, I'm spiritual and I'm like a Santa Muerte devotee. I'm raised Catholic and stuff like that. I have like respect for like everyone's religion. Everyone chooses like, it's their own journeys. So I don't know, when people talk to me, they don't really get mad. They're just like, all right, you're doing your own thing.
No, my question is like
What do they think of me?
No. I got a question for like when I meet God, right? I'm gonna be like, yo, God, why you make so many beautiful women? Like you want us to be just like you want us to be. I mean, physically, but I know mentally, that's a different topic. But he God did make a lot of beautiful women.
Yeah, they did. He did.
Such as yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You came here nice. You got
Oh,
the toes
thank
did.
you.
She got the toes right. Everything. I mean, you gotta check it. That's like one thing I do look at.
Oh, how people look?
Yeah, I do look at it. So I'll
Okay.
check. So if you come over here with some messed up toes,
Oh yeah, my toes look
let you
cute.
know. I'm gonna let you know because
I
we
should
already
probably put
seen.
lotion, but
Yeah,
we
we
got
seen a
it
couple
cute.
crusties. I ain't gonna lie.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
No, honestly, like toes done, nails done, like
Yeah. That's
that's
mandatory.
priority for me
Yeah.
always. It's just a part of the job. I feel like it's part of like my like
Your
uniform,
image. Oh yeah,
you know?
you know what I would do is like girls. Somebody told me this. He used to work at the club with me. He's like, hey, how come you don't make sure that the girls don't come here already dressed like in heels or dressed nice?
Oh
Present
yeah.
like they come in here and they look like they just barely woke up out of bed.
Right.
Yeah, like why don't you encourage them to come in here looking right? So I don't know. Do you come to
It depends on when I show up to work.
yeah.
Like when I used to work at the nude that I would go in like 10, 11 because we closed 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I would always show up like in a dress, maybe not heels, but like a cute little pair of like flip flops, you
Yeah.
know, a dress and done. Because I feel like when I would show up, there'd already be people in the room. So if I'm walking by them, like that's the first impression they get of me.
Definitely.
So when they see me go into the locker room and they're like, "Oh, that girl's beautiful," I'm gonna wait for her to come out. You know, they're already thinking about me when I go on stage. They see me in my outfit, they're like, "All right, like bet," you know. If I'm going in at day shift and I know there's nobody gonna be in there, I might show up in some sweatpants. But you know, but like typically, I feel like I had an OG that told me like that's like as soon as you walk in the door, that's when you start working. Like, so that's why I always try and present myself.
Hey, that makes sense. You want to know why? Because check this out. I've been in a strip club where a girl comes dressed up. She look fine as hell. I'm like, damn, who's that? And I'm just waiting to see what she looks like.
In her outfit,
And her outfit.
yeah.
After, I already seen that outfit looking. She's
Yeah.
looking banging. And then, so like for the girls, and that's something that all girls should do. If you're working a night
Yeah.
shift, maybe not a day shift because you're right, because there's not as many people.
Yeah.
But a night shift, I think you should come looking.
No, 100%. I mean, I
Yeah.
would, I remember, I forget her name, but I remember an OG, like that's what she told me. She's just like,
Remember OG? She's
yeah.
still working?
I probably, honestly. I lost touch with her in the pandemic, but she
You
was a
lost
real
touch
ass
with her?
bitch.
Yeah.
She was, from when I met her, she was in her 40s, looked like a fucking Barbie, platinum blonde hair, and
Yeah.
she was like, she'd been in the game at that point, I think, for like almost 30 years. Like, she was like 18. And she would tell me everything. Like, she was the one that was like, you always gotta get your shit done. Always make sure that you look good. Like, it don't matter if you make $0. Like, you gotta have your toes done and like all that shit. Be like, all right, like if you say so.
Now she's 60 years old.
Probably.
And she hasn't retired yet. She's still she's doing good.
Hey, honestly, I don't jack it. If
Nah,
a girl
nah,
wants to
nah.
dance until she's fucking 60, go off, queen. Make your fucking money.
Huh, make
Because I
your-
bet there's gonna be someone else gonna give her fucking money too.
Yeah, right? Shit, there's somebody for everybody.
Bro,
No matter what you look like or whatever.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I've seen homegirls that dance pregnant until they're like 6 months. They still
Damn.
fucking making money. It's just crazy.
They're making money with the
Men
baby.
there's a man for everything. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like for real, especially at the club. And the club is supposed to be the one spot that's like not judgmental. So like, yeah, like there's
Yeah,
something
you know,
for everybody.
this is what I realized too about the club is that there's all walks of life that are in there. You're gonna see everybody in there, and it just might be a day where I might invite somebody that maybe doesn't go to a strip club, but he might have a wife at home, regular job, but he want to get out with his boys, and we go to the strip club, we have fun. He ain't cheating on the wife, he's just fucking having fun.
I don't see it as cheating, but maybe
Yeah.
I always acknowledge the fact that maybe because I'm desensitized, I've been dancing for so long. I don't see it as cheating. Like it's just someone showing up, you know, like until they cross certain boundaries, you know.
All right. Have you ever felt bad talking to a customer and you kind of knew that maybe he had a girlfriend or he was married? Have you ever felt bad, like, man, I really, like, he shouldn't be here?
No.
No?
No, that's not on me. That's
That-
their
that's their-
responsibility. I don't know. I've seen like if I know someone's married, the first thing I look at when I go up to a customer is if they have a wedding ring. Because like honestly, like as soon as I sit down, I look at their finger and I like check to see because if they have a wedding ring, I'll have the conversation, I'll gauge it and see if like, oh, maybe they'll get a dance or something. like, it's up to them if they do or don't. But if they don't have one on, then I'll be a little bit more forward, you know, like maybe a little bit more flirty. But if they have the wedding ring, I'm like, all right, and then just gauge it, you know. I don't know. It's on them. It's not on me. Like, I don't view it as cheating when they come to the club. If they come in, I assume that they're allowed to be there. You know, if I do a dance with them, if I offer them a dance, they say yes, I'm assuming that that's their, like, responsibility to know if they can do that or not. Like, that has nothing to do with me. Because as soon as I walk away, I'm going to forget who they are.
That's true.
You know, so it's like, I don't feel bad at all. I had this one customer, because when I was working in Palm Springs like a year ago, he was really handsome. We were talking, we were having a conversation, and he mentioned he was married, and I was like, all right. And I really didn't feel no, like he was, like, attracted. Like, it was really just a genuine conversation. And then girls were coming around, because it was a bachelor party, so girls were coming around trying to get him to get a dance. He's like, no, I'm good. And I, like, looked at him, and I was like, your wife is beautiful, huh? And he was like, yeah, she's hot. And she showed me a picture. She was smoking hot. She was like classic blonde hair, like gorgeous, like could be Playboy model, like, gorgeous. And I was like, oh, so you really not tripping? He's like, no, I'm happy. He's like, I'm in here with my friends. I'm having a good time. I'm a tip. He's like, I don't even want to dance because, like, I want to go home to my wife. And I was like, I respect that. And I feel like that should be the situation. Like, if you're happy and you're good, then you're good. If you're in the club and you want to dance, okay, get a dance. But, like, you know, that's on you.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. I think, like, us dudes, we need to breathe. We need some time to get out and have fun. So, like, say, I'm just saying, in a different universe, if me and you were dating, say you found out, but you were a stripper, and you found out that
I wasn't a stripper?
Oh, you were still a stripper in the other life. So
okay, yeah. Same life, different world.
Yeah.
Okay.
but the only thing that changed was we're, like, married.
Okay.
But I go out to a strip club with the boys, and you find out that I'm there. Are you gonna trip on me, or how you?
So this is the thing, because this is how I do it now.
Okay.
If I'm dating someone and they go to the club, you better be acting right, because then I'm gonna look at it as a fucking stripper. Like, if I find out you're at the club and you're crumbling up dollars and fucking throwing, you can piss me off. If I find out you're there and you're telling girls, like, no, I don't want to buy you a drink, or no, I'm not good, that's gonna piss me off. So I'll be like, the way I see it is, if I find out we're dating, and I find out you go to the club and you're the type of customer I fucking hate, that changes my whole view on you. So I would want, like, even, like, you don't have to do dances and all that. That's, like, between us, if that's, like, a boundary.
Yeah.
But you better be in there fucking spending money and fucking actually, like, showing out and making sure that you're a good fucking customer. Because why the hell are you in there? Go to a bar.
Hey.
Like, you feel me? Like, that's how I feel about it. I'm very passionate about that.
This is dope. She ain't tripping about me doing what I'm doing. She's tripping about me tipping some good money.
Yeah, like
go.
If you're the type of guy that's walking up to the girl on stage and you got $5 and you're throwing them one by one, pissing me off. I'm gonna be like,
you know what my
like,
question
nah,
is?
Bro.
My question to customers is, why do they crumble it up like a rock, and they, like,
I don't
why do they do
fucking
that?
know. And I just had, like, okay, so 2 nights ago I was working at the club. I was working at Fantasy, and there was, like, it was 2 couples, and they went up to the tip row, and one of the other dancers went on stage. I didn't see what happened because I was with a customer, but they were tipping, and I saw her get up, get off stage, go to the manager, say something. Manager walks to the DJ. She gets back on stage. She picks up the money, and she, like, gets off stage. Clearly looks upset, you know, but I didn't know what happened, right? So then I get called on stage, like, 2 girls later, right? Yeah. Go up to the DJ, and I was like, why? Like, because I saw the 2 girls afterwards that went on stage were ignoring the group. Yeah. So I was like, why is everyone mad at the people on stage? Because I'm about to go on stage. So I was like, why is everyone mad at them? And the DJ's like, oh, they're crumpling up money and throwing it at the dancers. But they're on the tip row, so it's like, why are you doing that? So I guess the girl had called them out and was like, don't do that, it's disrespectful, whatever. So I get on stage, and I'm dancing, and they're not tipping. So I go in front of them, and I'm like, did you run out of ones? Like, do you guys need to go get more money? And the girl looks at me. She's like, no, the other bitch didn't like the way we were tipping her, so now I'm not tipping any of you bitches. Oh, damn. And I was like, oh, word. Because I'm like, that's crazy. Like, okay. Like, instantly, I'm like, you're coming at me fucking crazy. Yeah. So I look at her, and I was like, okay, girl. I was like, well, you got 3 options. You can get off my fucking tip row and go to the table over there, because if you're not tipping, you can't sit here.
Yeah.
Second, you can fucking leave. Or third, you can talk to the fucking manager so he can tell you the same shit. And she's like, I want to talk to the manager. And I was like, all right, bet. So I call him over. He like comes over up to me first and he's like, what happened? I tell him what happened. He's like, they just need to move. And I was like, exactly. So he calls him off the stage. They go over. They literally for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes, are like, because 2 minutes is a long time. They're like in each other's faces, like the manager, security behind him, and the people fucking arguing, like just arguing. And I could see from his mannerisms, and I can like kind of hear that he's just like, it's disrespectful. Like you don't do that. Like you don't crumble it up and throw it at them. Like you just put the fucking money on the stage. It's really not that hard. And they're like going to bat about this shit, like, it's money, like we can do what we want, blah, 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 blah. Like, why are y'all disrespecting us? Like, they're going at the end of the day, they ended up fucking moving. And they ended up moving, and they ended up getting drunk, and they ended up tipping anyone, like, anyways. So, like, I really don't know why they got so, like, angry about it. Like, if someone checks you on etiquette, you can really just say, like, okay, my bad, like, I didn't know. Because I don't know if it's, like, on purpose. I don't know if they're doing it as, like, a backhanded compliment type shit. I don't know what that, like, ulterior motive is. I don't know if they just don't know. But, like, it's fucking rude. Like, I don't like it.
I don't think people know. I'll be real.
Yeah.
Because somebody the other day just said, "Oh, I told one of the dancers if they could put their face in the booty."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, that's not. That's
No,
common sense, right?"
You just can't. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I think another comment there should be like a rule book of common sense things, but people don't get it. Sometimes I realize this. You have to tell people exactly the way it is for them to understand.
Yeah, I kind of always have to remind myself too. I'm like, not everyone, like, I've been in the club for so many years, like, just like how you have. Like, it's second nature to us, like, it's common sense to us. But some people, it may be the very first fucking time they've been in there and they don't know. Like, I personally think it's so annoying when the guys build the little houses.
Oh,
I think
they
I
build and they kick field goals.
Yeah,
Oh,
anytime a guy does that on my stage,
yeah.
I go to like twerk in front of him and I just kick it with my foot like on
Oh,
accident because I'm just
dang.
like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you so focused on building this little house?
Oh,
Like,
that
it's so weird to me. But guys love it. Guys love it.
Dang.
I've had customers that are like, I love going to the stage and girls love it. And I'm like, sure they do.
that they do the little house.
Yeah,
I always
they,
wondered like what is it with those things?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
or they
really
build
don't
the little
know.
things or
They're like little fucking
man.
like
You ever
pyramid shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, so I know the guys that build the houses, that's like annoying for you.
Yeah.
What else are some of the annoying things that bother you? Besides not tipping or just watching.
Oh, just at the club in
Yeah,
general?
just at the club in general.
I hate the guys that come in and sit at the bar and face away and act like it's a regular bar. Because I'm like, you could go to a regular bar and not pay admission and go watch your sports. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, that's one that annoys me. I don't know. I've had some girl customers that are cool, but couples that come in and get like in an argument, that's always so crazy. Like, I don't understand it. I'm like, you should know before you walk in if you're comfortable, if not, or not. I literally am one of the people, I just don't approach couples.
Yeah.
Like, if they come and tip me on stage, cool. If they call me over, cool. But I won't go up to a couple. I just walk past them. I'm like, it's not mine.
So you don't recommend couples going to a club?
I just don't. If you're gonna come to the club as a couple, like, be cool. Like, have fun. Like, the girls are working. It's not a threat or anything.
Yeah.
But you see those couples that'll come in, and by the end of like the night or like however long they're there, they look pissed. Like, the girl looks pissed. She's annoyed. The guy's not talking to nobody. Like, it's just like, why are you even here?
Yeah, why are you?
Like, that's always weird to me. Like, yeah. Other than that, just the general shit of like guys crossing boundaries, trying to touch you without your consent, like all of that stuff. Like, that's obviously fucking annoying.
So I'm wondering, how did you become a stripper?
I became a stripper a very cliche way. I just moved to LA and I was working a 9 to 5 at a fashion company. I was the CEO's assistant, and I blew the engine on my car.
Oh,
I hit something on the freeway.
Uh-huh.
It ended up leaking out overnight. I didn't know, and when I drove it the next day, like, the engine blew, and it was like, it's already gone. So I was like, all right. So my homegirl at the time, well, a bunch of my homegirls were all strippers at this club in Orange County. So when I would complain about like having a hard time saving money, trying to buy a new car, like just like Ubers and stuff like that, they're just like, we can't relate to you. Like my one homegirl would just be like, you could literally come to the club and make the money for a new car like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, no, like I'd never even been to a strip club, so I was just like, oh, I don't know. And then after like a month of me just complaining, she was like, dude, just come to the club and just like see. Like just come, hang out, let me know what you think, and like I don't know, like you don't even have to do it long term, but do it until you get the money for your car. So I was like, all right, fuck it. And I went and I was there. She introduced me to the manager, and the manager at the time was this like badass like OG stripper that was like had been dancing for 30 years, was now a manager, like looked like me, like heavily tattooed, like just like this badass chick. So she introduced me to her, and she sat with me inside and for like an hour just put me on game. Was like broke down everything, answered all my questions. I was like, I've never danced on stage. She's like, it don't matter. She's like, I was like, I don't know pole tricks. She's like, you don't need to. She's like, watch all the girls. The girls that are getting tipped aren't even doing anything crazy. They're just interacting with the customers. Like, just put me on game. Like, just ran it down. And I was like, okay. And then at the end of it, she's like, all right, let's go do your paperwork. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, let's go do your paperwork. And I was like, all right. And in my head, I was like, damn, like she's just put me on game. Like I can't be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so I was just like, all right, fuck it. And I went, I did my paperwork, picked the name, and then I went back the next week and I started dancing. I bought a new car within the month. And then it's just been like now damn near 11 years that I've been dancing.
11 years passed. She got,
Yeah.
she just barely bought another new car. Another new car is crazy. Bought it for me. Yeah. No. So I did see on your page, I think, let me read it, what it said on your page. It said, let me see, hold on. It said something that you support sluts and whores.
Yeah, it's
on
the
this
only
page.
thing on my highlight.
Right, and I was
And there's a
wondering,
little like finger pointing.
do you think, like, how does it feel? I mean, does it even, do you think us men look at dancers as whores and sluts?
Whatever they look at us like, it really don't have nothing to do with me, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think that some do. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm so desensitized to it that I'm just like, I don't know. Like I remember when I did start dancing, like I obviously hadn't worked through like the stigma from society. Like I had like a lot of anxiety. Like this was pre fucking Cardi B, pre it being what it is now, like having it be so mainstream.
Yeah.
You know, like this was back, you still couldn't tell people, it was very fucking taboo. And so when I started dancing, I was like, damn, like what am I doing? Like, is this a good decision? Like, should I be ashamed? You know, I had people that I knew, like from like my normal day-to-day life that like tried to shame me for it, trying to out me, you know? So like I went through all that and like I recognize what my thought process and my viewpoints were when I started. So I can only imagine what someone that doesn't have the experience I do does think about it. I'm sure they do. But through the years of my experiences and like just being in the industry and being around everybody, it's like we're all just fucking regular people trying to fucking survive and trying to do the same shit that some other person is doing, you know? Like it's just the same shit.
I had a debate with somebody about this.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, here or just in general?
In general,
Okay.
they were saying that, you know, all dancers, they have a decision and that they chose that decision to be whores and sluts. And that's their decision. And I said, well, no, I think everybody comes from different backgrounds. Some people are on survival mode. Some people just like, what do I do? I got to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and we're all at different levels in life. You know what I mean? Some of us might have it easier this way or that way. Some of us might come from money. So we might not be lacking on that.
Yeah.
So we all have different obstacles. And yes, eventually, if you stay in it for so long, yeah, of course you have a choice. But some of us don't have mentors.
Yeah.
Some of us need some guidance. Some strippers don't have parents. Some strippers were molested. Some things have happened, right? So it's not that I'm trying to, you know, just say all strippers are good. No, of course there's bad people and everything.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that there's different levels to it, and I do kind of understand it now, me working there.
Yeah.
meeting different individuals and kind of understanding their background.
No, 100%. I mean, like, sex work in general is built up of, like, one of the biggest marginalized community. Like, it's, like, not the easiest thing, but for people that are struggling, it's a way to make fast cash, and it's like you can step into it very fast, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say like, oh, it's easy to get into, because it's really not. Like, you have a lot of mental blocks that you have to go through to even be able to walk in the door, like, you know? But at the end of the day, everyone that does it because they're trying to survive. They may be more privileged, they may be more comfortable. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
If I don't want to work today, I don't have to. I have some homegirls, it's not like that for them. They have to work 5 days a week because they're
Yeah.
really trying to support themselves. They don't got nobody. I'm at a point within it, and I have my regulars, I have my customers, I have my different avenues of income. I'm comfortable. I choose to keep dancing because I make my own schedule. It's extra money. It's how I meet people to promote my other shit, you know? So it's like, I'm passionate about it. I do love
Yeah.
dancing. I love performing. And I'm passionate about the community, like, in general. So it's like, I choose to stay in it because I do have a love for it. Not everyone is the same. There's some people that come to work and they don't like what they're doing. They need breaks and stuff like that, and that's fair. But, like, at the end of the day, yeah, we're all just the same as anybody else. Like, it's like any other job.
Yeah. Now, have you ever felt dirty after giving someone a lap dance?
Not necessarily. I mean, there's definitely been experiences throughout my years where someone, like, pushed boundaries a little too far, and it, like, not that it affected me, but it definitely left me like, ugh. Like, there's downsides to it. I feel like not everyone has a super strong personality, or, like, can, like, let it roll off their back, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm desensitized to it. I've been going through it for a really long time. Obviously, I've been in it for a long time. So when shit happens now, I'm just like, oh, what a piece of shit. You know, like, it doesn't, like, I'm not like, oh my God, like, I need to take a day off. Like, I need to, like, really, like, process through
Yeah.
this. You know, like, I'm just like, oh, that guy sucked. You know, like, and I just move on. I know that not everyone's like that, you know? So would I say, like, it made me feel dirty? I mean, not like emotionally or anything, but there's definitely been instances where I'm just like, ugh. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, I go wipe myself down with a fucking wipe. I
Oh,
put hand
damn.
sanitizer. I'm just like, all right, you know, like, like, you know,
Yeah.
move on though. Like, I just, as soon as it ends, I'm just like, anyways, on to the next.
Wanted to talk about the vibe in the club, and tell me if I'm correct about this.
Okay.
So I remember when we would work, this happened primarily in the night shifts, but I did have some shifts in the day that were kind of weird too. But there was a certain, you can sense bad energy.
Yeah, there's been some customers, like, I mean, one thing that, like, one of my topics that, like, not I always talk about, but I bring it up to people, and I'm just like, okay, strippers, like, in terms of, like, serial killers and, like, predators, you know,
Yeah.
like, sex workers are targeted. Strippers, like, a strip club is a very easy way to come and meet targets, you know. There's been serial killers that target sex workers and strippers, you know. So I'm like, I've been dancing for almost 11 years. Statistically speaking, how many have I met? You know, and so I always think about that. There's definitely been, like, probably I'd have to sit down and think about more, but there's two that come to the top of my head when I think, like, oh, bad energy. And it was like, there is one guy when I first started dancing, like, probably like my first 6 months, and I was giving a lap dance, and so it's like I'm giving him a lap dance. It's like a couch like this. It's an open room, so it's not like I'm in, like, a secluded area or anything like some clubs are. And so it's me, the DJ's over there, he can see me. And I'm dancing for this guy, and then he just, like, puts his, because I'm facing away, so he, like, puts me in a bear hug and, like, whispers in my ear, like, do you just see how easy, like, it would be? And I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's fucking crazy. So as soon as he said that, like, I looked at the DJ to see if he was paying attention.
Oh, damn.
And I just, like, immediately, like, just start, like, getting up. He, like, let me go, and the DJ saw that, like, obviously it was, like, a situation. So he comes over, I get up, I just walk away, I tell him what happened, they kick him out. So that was like probably the first, like I was like a baby stripper at the time too.
Damn,
So that's like
crazy.
one of the first times where like I think I met like a genuinely like a bad person, you know? So I was just like, oof, like the second time or like just the other one that comes to head is I think like maybe a year ago at Palm Springs. It's like the end of the night. That's a bar. So this guy comes up to me, visibly like drunk, like almost like very like slurring his words, kind of stumbly. But like, you know, when someone's drunk, like it shows in their eyes. I don't know how to describe it, but his eyes were sober. Like he was like mumbling and like whatnot. And so he's like, I want to dance. And I was like, yeah, let's go do a dance, right? We end up, he gets a 20-minute. So we're in the back and he's visibly drunk, but like I cannot like stress enough like how like focused his eyes were. So that already to me was like interesting. Like, you know, it was like weird. I'm dancing for him. I face away and he like slaps my ass hard. So I'm like, oh, and I turn around and I was like, hey, babe, not too hard. I was like, just, you know, be gentle. He's like, oh, sorry. And I was like, all right. And so then keep dancing a little bit goes by, maybe a minute or two, does it again, like boom, like hits me fucking hard. So at that point I turn around and I'm like, if you do that again, like the dance is over. And he's just like, okay, sorry. But again, slurring his words, like acting drunk, but like staring at me like hella focused. So at that point in my head, I'm like, this guy's like, he's fucking faking it. Like this is something weird. So keeps going, and then again, boom, hits me again. So I just turn around, I was like, dance is over. And it's like, at this point, it had been maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Like, not even, right? So, like, dance is over. I'm expecting him to, like, argue with me. He looks at me, he's like, okay. Pulls out $300 from his pocket, hands it to me, and just walks out. And I was just like, all right, that's a piece of shit. Like, you know, like, he's clearly, like, if I was someone that was probably not, like, maybe newer, maybe a little bit more naive, maybe a little bit more vulnerable, and just took it, you know, that'd be 20 minutes of him beating my fucking ass, you know? But I'm like, nah, dude, like, what the fuck? So, like, those situations, I'm like, damn, like, not I'm like happy it was me or anything, but I'm just like, damn, if it was someone else, who knows what would happen. Also, that's a weird ass motherfucker.
Yeah, there's some weird. That's why, you know what, like even, you know, doing events, I didn't kind of want to do like private dances.
Because you can't like control it.
And there's so much weird crap that happens back there. Like if only the audience knew all the weird crap I've mentioned this on previous shows where it looked like a wrestling match was going on when you look on the camera.
Yeah, it's like weird shit.
Yeah, just crazy stuff that's happened.
No,
What about like, do you have any moments at the club where like you're like, man, like it could be a bad moment, a good moment, or something that's just interesting in general you might have saw that's happened in the club where you're like, damn, that really did happen?
I mean, I've gotten into hella brawls.
You in a fight?
I used to get into the fight all the time with the club.
You look rowdy.
I used to get into hella fucking fight. I stopped because I had a manager at my old club. I'd been there for years, and he was like, that was my home club, and like I could get away with a lot. And he literally hit me with like, if you get into one more altercation or one more fight, like I cannot save you. Like you're done. And I was just like, fuck. And so I like that really like made me grow as a person, and like I stopped being so like volatile. But like when I started dancing, like if someone would touch me wrong, I would turn around and just backhand them. Like if girls, like I would get into fights with girls if they pissed me off. But like it's funny, off camera we're talking about Sahara. It's not funny, but like Sahara closed down. The last time I worked at Sahara, I'm banned for life from there because I got into a brawl and I beat the shit out. I beat the shit out of a pimp and his girl.
Oh damn.
And so like, and it's not funny, but it's just like I have to laugh, you know? Like it's like, but literally like this was, I don't even know, like 5 or 6
Got
years
Bruce
ago.
Lee right here. She ain't playing. I seen she threw her heel at somebody.
But it was like 5 or 6 years ago, and we were working at Sahara, and it was me and my best friend and like another really good friend of mine, and we got to work like beginning a night shift, right?
Uh-huh.
And so my bestie gets on stage and she's dancing and she signals to me like, hey, that girl's recording me. So I go over to the girl and sure enough, she's like sitting there like off the stage like this, like fully recording her. So I walk up to the girl and I was like, hey, like you can't record. And she just stares at me. It's like this like blonde Latina girl, like maybe in her 20s, like who's to know. So I was like, hey, you can't record. And she's just like, stares at me. And so I'm like, okay, in Spanish. I'm like, hey, like, in Spanish. I'm like, no puedes, no puedo grabar.
So you thought she didn't speak English?
Yeah. And she looks at me like, why not? And I was like, damn, bitch, all right, you can understand me.
Yeah.
I was like, because I said so. And she's just like, oh. So I go over to the manager and I was like, hey, that girl's recording. He's just like, all right, security goes over there, like, hey, you have to delete it. So I'm sitting down to where I can see, and she puts her phone on airplane mode, like as they're talking to her, puts her phone on airplane mode, texts the video, goes to photos, deletes the video, and then she's like, it's deleted.
Oh,
And
damn.
I'm like, and I look at the manager like, no, she still has it on her phone. One, it's in the recently deleted, and two, she just sent it to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So I get called on stage. My homegirl gets off stage and she's like, did they delete it? And I was like, no, it's still on her phone. She's like, bet. She's like me. She's hella feisty.
Yeah.
So I go on stage. She goes up to the girl and she's like, you need to delete that video. And so at this point, I know how she had a shorter fuse than I did. So I don't even care about doing like a stage show. I just get on stage, go right in front of where they're standing, get down, and I just start twerking while I'm watching what's going on. So I'm like, you can't tell me I'm not doing anything, but my attention's over here, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there and I'm just watching. I'm just like twerking and looking, and I'm just seeing her, and she's just like, delete the video. And the girl's like, what are you talking about? She's like, you have my video still on your phone. They're going back and forth. The girl sitting down goes like this with her phone, and she's like talking, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. My other homegirl comes up behind her, snatches the phone.
Oh, damn.
And then she just like grabs it. And as soon as she does that, the girl looks, sees her snatch the phone, turns to my homegirl, swings on her. And then like from there, like they got into it. I hop off stage, and then
You jumped
security
in? She jumped in.
ends up fucking sideswiping us. And like in my head, this is years ago, so I'm like, security don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah.
So it's me and my two homegirls, the girl, security, and then whoever she was sending videos to, I guess it was her pimp, that she was like sending him videos so he could get the girls and take them to VIP and try and recruit them. He comes out, he jumps in. It's like 9 people, and we're just in a fucking brawl. Like just blew up, like exploded, like it was all bad. We end up like, it gets like crazy. I remember at one point, I'm like, I got the girl on the floor and I'm like this. My homegirl got like out, jumps on the stage, jumps into it, like trying to like get to the pimp. Like it just like blew up. So then afterwards it gets separated and like we go to the fucking locker room. My homegirl's pissed, like she's like pacing. We're changing because we're like, well, I don't know if it's gonna keep going. Like, we know we're about to get kicked out. Those people are gonna be outside, so like we gotta be ready. So we're like getting our shit on. And then, so like manager and security all run in or whatever, and then they call us all in, and they're just like, y'all are 86 forever. Like, forever. And then some fucking security walks in, and he's like, someone hit me on the head, blah, blah, blah. We're in like the parking lot about to drive away. The security walks up to me. He's like, you hit me on the head. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I just saw it on the video, like, you fucking clocked me. And I was just like, all right, you want to go? Like, why are you coming at me?
Trying to fight with the security.
And he was just like, I was just letting you know. He's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, why the fuck are you following me outside to tell me I hit you unless you want to fucking fight me? Like, get the fuck out of my face. And he's just like, sorry. Like, just goes inside. So that was the last time I ever stepped foot in that bitch. And now it burnt down, so like,
so R.I.P.
to
Sahar. Yeah, well, I was actually there at that night, and she looked like Rocky Balboa after. It was crazy. She had like bruises, black eye.
No, that shit was nuts.
Nah.
But no, I mean, other like, I don't know, it's been years of shit like that, you know?
So for the audience that want to know like what happens to the girls that fight with each other or fight, normally what we would do is if it wasn't that bad, we'll just take some time off.
Yeah,
Take
suspend
a
them.
week or two
Yeah.
off. Call me when, in a week or two. Don't come back to work. But if it was real bad, then yeah, I would say, baby, sorry, you can't come back no more.
No, yeah, I think that in that position, because it was like, we were fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Because at that point, because when I talked to my homegirls afterwards, they're like, the first thing I thought is like, fuck us. Like, security's manhandling us. It's like, like us against everybody at this
Yeah.
point. Like, my homegirls, like, they didn't have our fucking back with, like, recording. So, like, they don't owe us no respect. That's the way I seen it. So,
Yeah.
all three of us, luckily, we were all, like, the same type of energy
Uh-huh.
that as soon as it started, we're just like, yeah, fuck all y'all. And we just fought. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Now being older, I get it. At the
Yeah.
time, I had people calling that club for like a year later being like, can Salem come back? And they were like, no.
Dang.
And they were just like, no. I'm like, just
You're
fucking.
bad, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
Dang.
damn. I was like, I want to work there.
So do you think you're hard to work with?
No, not at all. Maybe
No.
before.
Yeah?
Maybe before, but not anymore. No, I'm pretty chill.
You-
I feel like my managers would say that too.
Yeah?
They'd be like, no, she's pretty easy.
Oh, it's
Like,
pretty easy?
even when because like, I have homegirls that have been in the game for less than like a year or two, and like, they act up. And I'm like, you remind me of me, but like, you really gotta chill out. Like, cause like,
Yeah.
if you do, I don't know, like, back in the day, I used to see it as like, I could get hired anywhere, so fuck this
Oh,
club.
dang.
Like,
Yeah.
if I get fired here, fuck it, I'll find another
Yeah.
one. So like, I always moved with that energy. So if someone pissed me off, I would swing. Like, I didn't care. Now I'm just like, no, I like this club. Like,
Yeah.
like, I want to work here, and like,
See?
I really don't want to be like, I don't want a target on my back. I don't want people to think I'm an issue. Like, I clock in, I'm very chill. If there's an issue, I tell the manager. If someone disrespects me,
Go by the rules.
I'm like, you know what? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more respectful now. If it's my own event, yeah, fuck 'em. Like,
Yeah.
at the bar that we have the residency at for my collective, like, I move with a little bit more energy there, but I'm still very respectful because I love that bar and I
Yeah.
have love for the staff. I have love for the owner. So I do everything in my power before I like take it there. But like, like obviously there I have a little bit more leeway. But yeah, I'm pretty easy to work
Yeah.
with.
All
I
right.
think so.
Do you think you would make a good girlfriend?
I think I make a great fucking girlfriend.
You think so?
I think so. I'm a hustler. I'm a ride or die. I'm gonna have your back. I don't know. Like, I'm on my own. I'm pretty easy on my day to day. I think I make a great girlfriend.
But don't mess with her. She might cut you. And she
No,
likes
I
that
would
shit.
never
She-
do that.
Nah?
I would
Why?
never DV nobody. That's crazy.
Yeah. Don't be cutting me because I know you like that blood stuff. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's cool for different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, is there anything else you would like to touch on before I kind of wrap it up?
I mean, just Latex Vixens. That's like that. I started a stripper collective about a little over a year ago now.
Yeah.
And so for us, I started it because one, I wanted to be able to control stuff without the exploitation of the club. Because clubs can be pretty exploitative, And like, yeah, so I wanted to be able to control it without the club aspect of it. I wanted to be able to dance to the music I like. So we danced to metal. And like, yeah, just like be able to take control of like the performance art of it and be able to have like that element like of control like for ourselves,
Yeah.
So there's 7 of us. Everyone in it dances at different clubs, LA, Orange County, and we get to dance to like rock. We get to dance alongside live bands. We've done art, like art galleries, like markets. We recently did a wrestling event. That shit was dope as fuck. We've done like the motorcycle invitational and stuff. So
Yeah.
like we've been able to do a lot of dope ass shit with it outside of the club. And that's just something I'm passionate about and I really want it to grow. And all of the girls in my collective are super talented. Like to be like when you're a dancer, you really don't have to like learn pole. Like it's not a requirement. No one tells you to do it. Not everyone does. But everyone in my collective has a passion for it, so they have, and they've taken it upon themselves to self-teach and like take classes and learn. So everyone in my collective is fucking talented. Like they could be in Cirque du Soleil type shit. Like they're fucking good.
They're good.
So it's awesome to be able to have that and be able to make it our own. And also like dancing to rock music. Like there's really nowhere in LA that you can dance to rock other than like Jumbo's. And one of the girls in my collective does work at Jumbo's. So, and she loves it. But like other than that, like there really isn't anywhere
there's
that
a
you
lot of
can
trap
go.
and-
Yeah, it's just all urban clubs, which I work in an urban club. I love it. I love dancing to hip hop. But
No, I get it.
obviously
I get it. Yeah.
I like rock.
Yeah,
So
if you like
yeah.
rock, I mean that's dope.
And it's dope as fuck to be able to dance alongside live bands to like music I like. Like even bands I love and stuff. Like that's just dope as fuck, you
Hell
know?
yeah.
So it's something that like, I don't know, I was dancing for so long and other people were doing it. I've seen like men start their own type of events like that. And I was like, why not one of us? And
Shit,
why
we
not
have to
make it
bring
for
her
us?
through tomorrow. Nah. Yeah, she's gonna be doing. I gotta see her moves on the floor.
I get on stage and I don't do nothing. You're
I'll be
like, damn, this bitch was all
You
talk.
start throwing tomatoes. Start throwing tomatoes at her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm convinced because I saw some of your photos, and they look very. They're just kind of interesting. I'm gonna keep it real. You look like an interesting person.
Thank you.
So I got to give you props on that.
Thank you.
Is there? Oh, you have the clothing line. We didn't get too much on that, but I wish I had a shirt to show somebody or
Oh,
show.
I have a shirt with
You
me.
do?
Yeah,
Let's see.
I have a
What she gonna show what the shirt looks like.
Let me see. It should be in this bag. Because I didn't know what I was going to wear.
Oh, she was gonna wear it.
I was going to wear it, but then I was like, it's kind of hot,
You
you
can
know?
wear it for the Patreon though. Like,
Oh, that's true. Huh?
yeah, so you can.
Oh, it's got dog hair on it. Don't mind that.
Okay. So she's gonna wear that in a second. So you guys got to stay tuned. But all right, is there anything you want to say, like any shout outs or anything like that, or?
Let's see. I mean, I love everybody that's ever supported me. I have very fucking loyal, like, customers, regulars, and like people that have followed me for years that have really like supported everything I've done throughout like my journey in dancing and stuff. Shout out to them. Shout out to the weirdos that DM me and say weird shit. That's just funny. And then just like shout out to Latex Vixens. Those are all my girls. Those are all my bitches. All the Vixens and everything. And like so, yeah.
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 Shout out to all.
And shout out to fucking Knucklehead because they really were the ones that gave us a space to have our own. That's where I have my residency.
Dope.
So shout out to Knucklehead. That's fam.
I think I might have something in mind for you. But shout out to all the weirdos in her DMs. Keep DMing her.
Yeah, that's just funny.
Yeah,
I love seeing that shit. That's just funny.
We gotta go through like some DMs and just see what's on them.
I have this one dude that he be like saying me the funniest shit, and I always just post it.
Yeah.
He finally responded yesterday. He's like, this isn't the first time I get posted on your story. Like, I need to stop. And I was like, I only post weirdos, so that's some self-awareness. Like, fuck.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool shit. I want to see some of the DMs. But yeah, I want to thank you for coming through. Yeah, I mean, you seem cool as hell. I've never seen you dance before, but maybe one day I will.
No one honestly ever has.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine.
You gotta go. What's the name of the club?
Knucklehead is where we have our residency, Latex Vixens, and then obviously on Instagram you could always see our upcoming performances. Our next performance is going to be September 6th. It's going to be a Killer Hearts and Saber show. I think it's a Thursday or Friday. And then I dance at Fantasy, so.
Fantasy.
Fantasy Castle in Long Beach. Don't stalk me.
Yeah. Just tip her. Or you can make one of those houses, but just break that shit down and be like, it's all for you, girl. Mm-hmm. All right, so I want to thank you guys for watching the Gentleman Club Diary. I want to thank you, Salem. I appreciate it. We're going to go watch a scary movie right now and review it. So thank you again for tuning in. Stay tuned to the next episode, and I am out.
Shout out to Gentleman Club Diary. This is Salem. All love.